You better be happy. The things I do for you. I have decided to go back to the first broadcast of the televised World Tomorrow. It was just as painful as you think it was. Before anything, though, I noticed something. The first televised broadcast was in 1978, 3 years after the main failed prophecy. So it's clear he was trying to re-establish a public image. Head bob? Head bob? Head bob!
Ladies and gentlemen, Herbert W. Armstrong. All your...
The content was, but something really funny happened. They have commercial breaks. And that's what I'll be presenting. The propaganda machine.
His origin. Herbert W. Armstrong will return right after this message.
Get your legal pads. Or steno pads, whichever.
You're invited to learn more about these important issues through the pages of Plain Truth.
The Jet?
This international journal of understanding
comes
along every month with a penetrating analysis of world news in the light of Bible prophecy. Plain Truth. This full-color monthly publication underscores the importance of biblical understanding. Your subscription is free of charge. There is no cost or obligation. Call this toll-free number. The Plain Truth, a magazine of understanding.
You know I just had to call that toll-free number. It's not dead. It's actually Grace Communion International, which is what the WCG became. It is still their number, but do be aware, they're mainstream now. I wonder if I called them if I could get the plain truth.
Men shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. When will the dreams of man become reality?
When?
The whole message of Jesus Christ is about a soon-coming world government that will bring peace to our troubled world. For a full understanding of this message of hope about the kingdom of God, request Just What Do You Mean, Kingdom of God.
I think my brain's starting to go mushy. It's funny, back in the day I would have been like, oh, but now I'm like, oh. In the second episode of The World Tomorrow, the first commercial repeated itself after this one I just showed. I guess they didn't have time to make another one. Don't fix what's broken. Oh, ew, sand everywhere. Ew.
Well, life's been pretty good.
Ah?
Summer home, yacht, vacation.
Lucky you.
Some little kids sure spent a lot of time with that.
Oh, thank you.
Too bad they never last.
Children?
Yeah, a lot of things are like that. Kids are grown now. Sammy and I aren't getting any younger.
His wife's name is Sandy.
Is this all right? You can know the answer
Oh,
to this
really?
age-old question. Why were you born? To request your free copy, dial direct.
Well, there are birds and bees, and you know,
4444.
and you got,
That's 800-423-4444.
it's not a mystery. Real talk, though. I see why people were drawn in. You have everything you want, but something's lacking. I'm serious.
Clears up the issue.
Huh?
Plain Truth brightens your understanding.
Don't eat her! Which family?
Plain Truth sharpens your outlook. You need the Plain Truth magazine.
I think I'm good.
For your free subscription to Plain Truth, call this toll-free for yourself. Plain Truth magazine.
Those fear-mongering tactics, wow. And that magazine is supposedly the answer? Oh, I'm certain he led by example on that one. Do as I say, not as I do? No, not him.
World's finest magazine. It's one of the largest circulation magazines in the world, larger than any of the weekly news.
The richest, most powerful group group of nations on Earth, the United States and British Commonwealth, are part of one of the most mysterious puzzles of all time. The prophecies of the Bible mention such small nations as Libya, Syria, and Ethiopia.
Did he literally just say small nations? Colonialist vibe. And why Libya, Ethiopia, and Syria? I mean, the Bible mentions Spain, too. And Italy, and Greece. Why are those nations small? Size-wise, Lebanon is really tiny. But no, Ethiopia, Syria, and Libya.
They seem to omit all reference to our peoples. How could such important nations be left out of inspired prophecy? This mysterious puzzle is unraveled in the full-length book, The United States and British Commonwealth in Prophecy. This book reveals the true identity of our peoples from the...
And I used to believe it.
From dollars to foreign currency. From yards to meters. From ice to water. There's nothing really strange about the process of conversion. We use it every day as one form adapts to another. Yet, when the topic of conversion comes up in a religious context, somehow everything becomes a mystery. Why is that?
Is it really a mystery? Hey, Jimmy converted to Islam. Cool. Christine converted to Judaism. Oh, wow. Christine converted to Judaism. Cool sauce. What mystery?
What do you mean conversion?
What do you mean
It's a free
conversion?
booklet that examines this important topic in straightforward, understandable language. You'll see the difference between false and real conversion. What could be more important than conversion from limited physical life to eternal spiritual life? Just what do you mean conversion?
So their version of conversion is right.
What do you mean born again is a free booklet that explains this expression.
That's basically as much as I can show without showing a very newborn baby. Like, very newborn. It was like a legit birth. Which is totally fine. It's natural, but I will not show children on this channel. Unless it's a mistake, but then that's a mistake. But that gives me time to talk a little bit. After the commercials I've already shown, it takes a long time in many broadcasts for a new one to show up. And then after this one, even longer for the next one. But the next one is, this is the Worldwide Church of God, and it's a two-parter. I think actually in the future I might do that episode in particular. But anyway, this commercial is about what does it mean to be born again. And they basically show a live birth, which is actually pretty cool. But for propaganda.
The Worldwide Church of God is an international ecclesiastical organization. Each week it conducts church services in nearly 600 cities. The church operates Ambassador College in Pasadena, California. The Worldwide Church of God is the sponsoring body of the Ambassador International Cultural Foundation. Humanitarian and cultural endeavors. Despite these activities, adverse publicity has recently characterized the Worldwide Church of God as a cult. While the church does not actively solicit members, it is concerned that its international reputation be maintained. This booklet is a clear statement of the church's history and purposes.
Classified as a cult? You don't say. Not even with all the humanitarian work? Don't mind what else happens. We do a lot of humanitarian work. Like Nuance Ho says, Brad, we give poor people Brad. Except for 1 week in the year. Not even a crumb.
Jesus Christ did not come.
Herbert W. Armstrong will return right after this message. Plain truth clears up the issues.
So they keep recycling and recycling their commercials. Now they're using the same audio but different video clips. Again, I have more space to talk now. I still haven't found the next commercial after this. But when California tries to put the church into receivership, you better believe they use that as a selling point. Church versus state? God's government versus man's government? Did Christ obey man's government? Ambassador for world peace? From what I understand, this is also when the church ushers took more of an interrogation mode. Although that could be a rumor. But this is around the time the 60 Minutes episode was released.
Is the path to salvation straight and narrow with many burdens to bear? Or is the yoke easy and burden light? Are many called, but few chosen? Or is it the will of God that all be saved? This free booklet, Just What Do You Mean, Salvation, explains the biblical teaching on this all-important subject.
So the very beginning of this commercial really agitated me because they showed all these pictures of like deplorable conditions like right at the beginning. And then it started to get into like the different things like flagellation. No joke, you can actually hear me audibly gasp when I was filming the video with my phone.
It means deliverance from suffering, from evil.
So if the WCG was so big on humanitarian work, then... But no, they have no problem using other people's pain for their own purposes. But they are the magic wand.
World Tomorrow with Herbert W. Armstrong. One out of...
You know, it's really interesting me going back and watching videos like this after having lived in China. In case you don't know, that was their old national anthem. It's called The East is Red, but the current one is called The March of the Volunteers. Anyway, I can't seem to be able to find commercials anymore, but I'm still looking. I have a bit more than half to do. But the next two booklets presented are about Easter, and the resurrection was not on Sunday. Don't worry, I'll do them. Oh yeah, and there's another one.
It's a booklet called What is the True Gospel? What is the True Gospel? But I'd like to send it to you.
No. And there's more animations in the episodes.
Preached again when the most powerful radio station on earth was opened up to me in Europe.
What a humble ambassador for world peace.
Is the reward of the saved. Now, I would like to have you come to understand some of this, and I have written a very special booklet. It's just off the press. It's called Never Before Understood. The book of Revelation by chapters and by subjects. You've never read a booklet like it. It's the book of Revelation, unveiled at last, opening the book of Revelation to your understanding. You've never read the truth about Christmas that I know of. I don't know of anyone else that has published it. I have a booklet. Who is the Beast?
So, I haven't actually seen a commercial in a while now. He's introducing these booklets one by one on the show. And some repeat and some don't. But I don't know. I still have a billion episodes left to go through, so maybe there is another commercial. But it's a good intro on the wonderful material I'll tear apart. Such page turners.
Or the gospel of the kingdom of God. And the kingdom of God is going to rule the world tomorrow. A one-world government. Now, what will that government be like? I have a booklet that you need. It's different than anything you've ever read in your life. The wonderful world tomorrow, what it will be like. Of it. But here is a booklet I have. Are we living in the last days? I haven't announced this booklet before on this program. I'd like to have you, some of our researchers have compiled this.
There are really no more commercials, it seems, but I'm still trekking through. I still have a billion left to go through. But hey, we got 2 booklets out of it, so I'll have fun tearing those apart. But I am so sick of the "you've never seen anything like this" language. Sound familiar?
And it is going by my voice to the...
Like 1975? Too soon?
Off the press. Is there life after death? Now, I have a new booklet just coming off the press. Some knowledge about the human mind. I have a booklet about him just coming off the press now. Did God create a devil? I have a booklet I'm going to announce at the close of this program. Life after death, question mark. A booklet. What is the reward of the saved? Is it going to heaven? Or is it roasting in hell? Or what? Why don't you write in for our free booklet,
There it is!
The Missing Dimension in Sex.
I only have a lot more left to do. Seriously though, I am starting to approach the end, so I'm grateful for that. It's basically done with the commercials though, so even though I called it commercials, they're not really anymore. It's just him always saying, it's hot off the press, we got this. No actual commercials anymore. So it is a misnomer, but...
Also, a booklet just off the press now. Your awesome future.
That's
How
awesome.
religion deceives you. It is coming.
What's
World
coming?
peace. You need to know more about it. This new booklet I would like to send it to you. Now, I just want to offer you in closing a booklet on the Middle East and prophecy.
So I finally entered 1983 in the videos. For context, he dies in 1986. And they use a lot of clips as well recently from the feast videos. So there's like a lot of happy singing and stuff. And you also see him in various countries talking to various figures there. In the future, I might take a deep dive into those. Although it is pretty funny because he's just rambling on, and then you see like these people around the world going, hey, I mean, if he paid for it.
Now, I don't want to close this particular program without offering a certain booklet. The 7 Laws of Success. Here's another booklet about the Christian Sabbath. Write in for this booklet to give. I want to offer you the latest book that I have.
How many books are there?
Before. A World Held Captive. It goes into the things I've just been explaining here in much more detail.
So there's only one more round of this to go, so the horizon's there. But I did want to make it clear that I'm doing this for a very particular reason. Preview of up-and-coming attractions. Every offshoot has its own version of these booklets. This is what the WCG produces. There is a sharp and notable improvement in production value. And I'll be going into these too because I think these are more tricky.
What is the Church of God? I haven't had time to go into that in this program. Let me send you a booklet. Where is the true church? Also touching on something I mentioned in this address in Nepal.
Oh, what an
on
ambassador.
human nature. Did God create human nature? Tokyo in the Japanese
Success!
language.
Right there, success.
Which you can see here. I think most of you won't be able to read that, but I also have it here with it. Another booklet, which I've announced once or twice before. A World Held Captive.
That's it, guys. My foray into going into the world tomorrow where he advertises his booklets, it's done. And him translating the 7 Laws of Success into Japanese was funny because, yeah, if you don't know, Japanese can be somewhat legible to Chinese speakers. But it's done.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Ah, there we are. So me saying wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, that's exactly what this commercial is like. It's over a minute long, and it's like 5 seconds between every single thing. God help me if that ever happens in my content. My point is to pack these bad boys into 1-minute clips so that way you can watch it and go. But these have to do with PCG's magazine, like The Plain Truth, although I don't think I've ever talked about the PCG's magazine directly. But it's exactly what you would expect. Notice Armstrong over there? But yeah, it promotes itself as, you can become a true Christian by reading this magazine. A true Christian. Just a few rules and regulations.
Demands on your time and money. Do you wonder if there's hope beyond your troubles and worries? Does finding peace and joy seem uncertain? Well, you can find solutions to your problems. Peace of mind can be yours. We invite you to watch Beyond Today each Sunday morning to find help and hope for your life today and beyond today.
Watch Beyond Today here every Sunday. 9 a.m. Eastern and Pacific, 8 a.m. Central and Mountain.
Did you catch that Armstrongist flair when he was like, can be yours? So excited. Because the WCG has all the answers I ever looked for. Now granted, the WCG is among the more manageable of the offshoots. They definitely believe that theirs is the prescribed way. And Beyond Today is one of the more active television programs out there from all the offshoots. To the untrained eye, they do look like any other televangelist broadcast. But we know. The RCG definitely does not hold back in terms of nightmare fuel. That's the thing, though, about the Churches of God, is that they usually grabbed on people's fear of the unknown. I mean, even the UCG one still hit on the uncertainty of things. You know, I actually do wonder, if Jesus Christ were to make a commercial, would it be like this? I'll see myself out.
But seriously speaking, I wonder how many members they got from a video like that.
These holidays are a scam. Valentine's Day, Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, it's all a lie. Open your eyes. You're being told lies. These are a joke.
What is that? That is a legit advertisement for the House of Yahweh. Do I need to say anything? What was that? Amazing techno music, though.
This is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says Yahweh. I will put my law in their minds and write it on their hearts, and I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. Join us live every Saturday at 1:20 p.m. Central Time. Visit yrm.org/live to watch or to see our past live streams.
Well, at least this one was a lot more palatable than this guy's stuff.
Do you notice how they insisted on saying the term Elohim and not God? Remember, this is the group that really has a big problem with the nameless term God. And in case you're wondering, the Living Church of God and the Church of the Great God really don't have any commercials. So we got these bangers.